Right here on The Balance on February 1st, a full 3 weeks before Vladimir Putin attacked the Ukraine, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley predicted it all to a T. Watch.
So my gut tells me that somewhere between the last day of the Olympics, February 20th, and March 1st, when Putin has to give his State of the Union address, that's when Putin's going to see his window. Certainly, he could decide to do this during the Olympics, but I think he is trying to play nice with President Xi in China, and I think he wants to see how many medals his athletes can win without the Olympic Committee throwing them out.
Somewhere between the end of the Beijing Olympics and the State of the Union is precisely when Vladimir Putin launched his invasion on Ukraine on Wednesday, February 23rd. And just as Ambassador Haley predicted, we now know that China did indeed ask Russia to wait until the Olympics ended. Let's bring in Ambassador Nikki Haley now. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. Again, I emphasize Ambassador because you were there. You dealt with all these people. Does it surprise you that China has such a comfy, cozy relationship with President Xi, and China has such a comfy, cozy relationship with Vladimir Putin?
Great to be with you, Eric. It doesn't surprise me at all. I dealt with them on a day-to-day basis, and I will tell you the way Russia and China see this is it's not that they like each other that much, but they both agree on the fact that they think the U.S. and the West are the great sinners. They think we're sinners because we enjoy freedom, and they think we're sinners because we enjoy democracy, and they will continue to work together until they can destroy it. And that's why I knew that Russia wasn't going to do anything to embarrass or change what China needed, because the Beijing Olympics were hugely important to China. That's why I said we needed to boycott them. But I also know that they were working in lockstep, and President Xi knew that Russia was going to invade, and the agreement was not to say anything when they did, and China hasn't. And now we need to know that those two are continuing to work together to make sure that he takes Ukraine and then to make sure he gets whatever else he needs, and China will then move on Taiwan.
Take a listen to, over the weekend on Sunday, in fact, the Chinese ambassador with Margaret Brennan asking the Chinese ambassador to condemn this attack. Take a listen.
Why can't you condemn this as an invasion?
Mm-hmm. Well, don't be naive. Condemnation.
It sounds naive to say that's not an invasion.
It doesn't solve the problem. I would be surprised if Russia will back down by condemnation.
No, maybe not back down, Ambassador, but maybe certainly get a friend that they see in China to say, hey, enough is enough. That may help. No?
China's not going to do it. And, you know, they're so condescending. I mean, just listening to him, I heard part of that interview when it aired, and just listening to him, that's how they are. They think that they know better than everyone else, and they are going to continue to walk this line. They're not going to go and tell Russia to stop, because they know they want to take Taiwan, and they want Russia to be there when they do. And we need to be in front of this. You know, as Biden goes to meet with our European brothers and sisters, he needs to make sure that, one, we're talking about what Ukraine needs with the planes and make sure we get the humanitarian aid to them so they can stay strong. But two, he should be talking about how they're going to become energy independent so that they no longer rely on an enemy for their energy needs. And we should be a part of that conversation when it comes to exporting liquefied natural gas. So a lot needs to be there, but I hope that they're all in check to know that China is going to be standing next to Russia through this entire war.
Ambassador, very quick, I only have about a minute and a half left, and I'd just like you to outline what should America do? I mean, we talk about, yes, Putin bad. I've seen videos, Ambassador, that the world hasn't seen yet because they're too bloody, gory, horrific to put on television. I've seen them. They're being sent to me. When the world sees them, they will realize that this man is committing war crimes. There are crimes against civilians. I've seen things that you don't want to ever see because you'll never unsee him again. My point is this. He's clearly committing war crimes. What should America do? Are these war crimes? And how do we prosecute Vladimir Putin? And when do we prosecute him? And is there a red line?
Well, first of all, we need to understand that this is a very evil man. I watched what he did with Assad in Syria. His next step is chemical weapons, and we need to prevent him from using chemical weapons. That would be taking it to a whole new level. We don't want to see it get there. They need to prevent that. Secondly, we've got to make sure that China does not aid Russia through money, through anything else. Thirdly, we should not be getting into the Iran nuclear deal, because all that is another lifeline to Putin, and it's more dangerous to us. So we need to see this for what it is. This is the fact that when anyone threatens freedom, the U.S. shouldn't be so arrogant to think this couldn't happen to us, because it could.
But
so the fight that we put against Putin...
Help my audience understand, and I agree with you, we should prevent him from using Putin from using chemical weapons. How do we do that? How do we prevent that madman from doing something that he said he wasn't going to do and has done everything every step of the way?
Well, I wish Biden would give him the sucker punch he needs and go ahead and sanction all of his energy companies. You want to get to Putin, that's exactly how you do it. And he should have done this a long time ago. He needs to do it. That's the one way to stop the lifeline, and it would really kick him in the gut in the way that we need him to. Secondly, take him out of the international banking system. The money that goes in to Russia right now is funding the killing of Ukrainians. We need to stop every ounce of money that goes into Russia. And if that means secondary sanctions to China, we should do it. But that's got to stop.
Ambassador Nikki Haley, always good talking to you. Thank you for joining us.